So we're gonna watch something next, and this is from a creator called Mr. Ballen. And I really like this guy's style. I like this guy's
The
vibe.
2 words I've heard the accent come out with are room and horror. How do we say it?
Oh, with you probably. You got more of an accent than I do.
Oh yeah, I might, and I don't even realize it.
You got more of an accent.
Horror? Horror.
Is that horror?
Horror.
Horror. Is that an accent? Horror?
They laughed at horror.
What? Horror? We're saying it wrong? Horror.
No,
horror?
That's right. No, just Jim.
The fuck?
You say it.
Horror.
Yeah, horror.
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 Horror movies.
Horror movies.
Horror.
Horror. Horror.
Just when you say horror.
Horror. Hello.
All right, yeah, no, I'm totally down. Love Mr. Bound. That's who you told me about, right?
It's this guy right here. And I think you're going to like him. And he's got a ton of videos. And I'd love to do a bunch of them with you if you don't mind.
Yes, I've seen this guy.
Oh, you have? Really?
Not like a whole... I've seen him like in passing on videos on Watch.
Oh, really? All right. All right, so there's a guy named Mr. Ballen, and I've seen a couple of his videos, and he's very great at storytelling. He's great at delivering twists and really just kind of taking you for a full-on journey and ride. And I'd like to spend a little bit of time with him with this video. I saved it a while ago. I thought it'd be kind of funny to watch for whatever reason. I saved it back in July. We're just getting around to it now. But this video is titled, The Top 3 Most Unbelievable Celebrity Backstories. I don't know, for whatever reason, I decided to save this one. I have no idea why.
And you've never listened to it?
Not this one, no. Okay. But I've heard some of his other stuff, and I like his style. And for whatever reason, I thought this would probably be good because he does some dark twists, and I'm just a fan of the guy.
Yeah, Mary says, I am both of you. I get scared, but also love it.
Oh, do you really? Okay. All right, so what do you say we check this one out right now?
Let's do it.
It's switch screens.
My favorite.
Where's your favorite? Oh, not mine. All right, small camera. Do me a favor and look at me. Okay, cool. All right, our cameras are set up the right way. Before they weren't. I was looking the other way, so I look at you and it was looking like I was looking off camera.
Like I always am.
All right, I'm gonna go down a little bit. That's pretty good for you. Hold on a second. Don't need that much there. Pro stream remove. All right, cool.
Oh, do I listen to spooky podcasts? No.
I do.
I don't really listen to, I can't listen to anything when I go to sleep because I pay too much attention to what I'm listening to that I can't sleep. But I used to read scary stories before bed. I used to read them to Jim. My voice would bore him to death.
Oh shit, you did. I forgot about that.
I used to read
stories to sleep.
To sleep.
Yeah, to read me bedtime stories.
Yeah, I literally, I love anything scary. Ooh, I love it. I love Halloween. I love haunted houses. I
listen to podcasts when I go to sleep. I can't listen to music when I go to sleep because obviously my brain goes wild. But like, I listen to podcasts when I go to sleep, and I wouldn't say they're creepy, but I listen to stuff about aliens. I'm very fascinated with aliens, and I'll get more into that in another stream. But this is Mr. Ballen. What's the video called?
The top 3 most unbelievable celebrity backstories, which is kind of vague.
Well, yeah, it is kind of vague. You don't know what you're getting into with this guy, but you always know you're in for a good time.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Today, I'm going to share 3 little-known, ridiculous backstories of 3 very famous people. And the last one has a very satisfying ending. But before we get into today's stories, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place because that's all we do, and we upload 2 or 3 times every week. So if that's of interest to you, please replace the like button's Shroot Bucks with
and zombies, Machi.
Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. All right, let's get into today's stories. In 1971, a 19-year-old Irishman named William began studying physics and computer science at a university in Belfast, Northern Ireland. While he was certainly smart enough to complete the 4-year degree, after 1 year of being in the school, he decided to drop out because he felt like this was not the path he wanted to be on. So he moved back home to a town about 30 minutes north of Belfast, where he got a job as a forklift driver and truck driver for the Guinness Beer Factory. And while he loved this job, he still felt like this was not the path for him. He needed to do something more with his life. And so he decided he would pursue what two of his siblings had gone on to do, which was to become a school teacher. He had always admired his school teachers growing up, and he idolized his two siblings that had become teachers, and so it felt like the right fit. And so William applied to a 4-year teaching college in Newcastle in England, and after he was accepted, he flew to England, he got set up, and then he began his studies. The first year was great. He loved what he was doing, he did feel like this is the right fit, and he was getting good grades, everything was going exactly to plan. But then year 2 happened and everything went off the rails. A requirement to graduate from this 4-year teaching college was all the aspiring teachers starting in their 2nd year had to go teach real students real lessons. They basically had to go to high schools and elementary schools and fill in for the real teacher and give a real lesson. And they were scored on their ability to do that. But all the aspiring teachers knew that when you gave these real lessons to real students, what really ended up happening was the students did not take the aspiring teachers seriously. They viewed them as kind of like substitute teachers, and so they didn't respect them and they didn't listen to them. And so typically...
Do you remember that, substitute teachers?
Do I remember them?
Yeah, substitute teachers. Like, did your classroom take advantage of substitute teachers?
I guarantee it.
I remember like substitute teacher day, and like it was like basically a free day of class.
Yeah, that's some people are saying, so student teaching?
Essentially,
Yeah, because they're not going to listen.
They're not going to listen. You don't, for whatever reason, you don't respect substitute teachers. At least my class didn't. And whenever a substitute came in, he basically knew it was like a free class. Just put your head down and go to sleep, I guess.
These real teaching sessions just turned into the aspiring teachers desperately trying to calm down their pupils long enough to get them to listen to their lesson plan for just 1 second. But normally...
Nowadays, I feel like an asshole for being a little asshole with substitute teachers, though. Like, maybe it wasn't even just me. I just feel bad for substitute teachers. There's these poor people that are just trying to go out and like teach us and make us learn. And we're just being little jerks.
For no reason.
For no reason. But whatever reason, kids eat substitutes alive. Everybody knows it. I feel like an asshole now for even being a part of it, though.
It didn't work out, and before long, the day was over, and nothing was really accomplished. So, in William's 2nd year, when it was his turn to go over to a high school and administer his lesson plan, he went over there knowing what he was up against. He did not really expect it to go well. But he decided he would go in there with a positive attitude and he would try to do his best. But as soon as he walked into his classroom, he immediately could tell he was going to be overwhelmed. Everybody's standing up and talking amongst themselves, and they turn around and they see William walking in, and they have this moment of realization that their real teacher is not going to be teaching them that day. It's going to be this substitute, William, and they all kind of gleefully began laughing and joking, and they just turned their backs on William and kept talking amongst themselves. And so William goes inside, he puts his stuff on the desk, and he attempts to get the class to listen to him by saying, "Hey everyone, come on, sit down, time to listen up, I'm your new teacher for the day." But the kids just were not listening. And so finally, William, who was a really big guy, he was 6'4", he was in great shape, he kind of postured himself and then yelled at the class, "Sit down right now." And at this, the class did turn around and looked at William and kind of sized him up, and most of them decided, okay, it's time to sit down. And so 99% of the class goes quiet and sits down, except for one kid. It was this 15-year-old boy who was at the back of the room, and he was standing up, defiant, with his arms crossed, staring at William with a smirk on his face. And all around him, all his cronies were sitting down, looking up at him, laughing, and kind of looking up at William and laughing at him, knowing that a confrontation was about to ensue. And so William is staring at this kid, trying to get him to just sit without saying anything, and this kid is just mean mugging him with his arms crossed, and nothing's happening. And so William walks right up to him and kind of leans over his shoulder and says, "You need to go out in the hallway right now. I will meet you out there."
Or I'm going to kick your motherfucking ass. I'm going to beat the fuck out of you in front of all these kids. I'm going to slap the goddamn shit out of you in front of all these students. I'm assuming that's what he's about to say, right?
Outside.
No, he's going to do it in front of everybody. He's just going to lay the beat down. Just beat the ever-living shit out of this kid in front of the entire class. Right? That's where the story's gone.
And then William turned around and started walking back towards the front of the room, expecting this to have worked, that this 15-year-old kid would have just followed right along and he'd walk right out to the hallway and that would be that. But when he turned back around again, the 15-year-old kid had not moved. He was still standing in the back of the classroom, arms crossed, staring up at William, basically saying, "Make me." And at this, William lost his mind. He was so mad and so frustrated at how unbelievably disrespectful this kid was being, and really the whole class was being to him, that he just kind of lost it. And he ran up to this kid in the back of the room and he gets right up in his face. And remember, William is 6'4". He's a big guy. And he gets right in the kid's face and he's like, "Get out in the hall right now."
Beat him up.
This kid doesn't flinch. Instead, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a knife and he holds it right up against William. And William, without any hesitation, just winds up and blasts this kid across the side of the head, sending him flying over.
What kind of kid pulls a knife on a teacher, though? That's a dick move. That's a dick move.
Someone said kid is a ghost.
Kid's a ghost. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that's kind of a dick move to pull a knife on a teacher, though. I'm glad the teacher just straight up and fucking nailed him in the face. I was just joking around.
He had to probably defend himself if the kid pulled it out.
Yeah, like, he was bottling up. He's like, "Please attack me. Please do whatever."
He was instigating the whole time.
Teacher knocked him out.
Over a kid sitting at a desk. He goes flying over this kid and crumples into the corner. And then when he stands up, he drops the knife and puts his hands up and he's like, okay, I'll go out in the hall. And William's like, go out in the hall right now. And so the kid ran out of the classroom. He goes out into the hall and the whole class is totally silent. No one even wants to look up at William. They're all kind of just looking down at their desk, trying to be as quiet as possible. And William walks back to the front of the class and proceeds to teach the rest of the lesson. As soon as the high school learned that this aspiring teacher, William, had basically knocked out one of their students, even though it seemed like it might have been a little bit deserved, they immediately told the teacher's college, and the teacher's college immediately expelled William.
Oh,
and so now William is suddenly jobless.
Wait. William's the teacher or the student?
William's the teacher.
The teacher can get expelled? Is that just fired?
I've never.
Yeah, but you just get fired. You don't get expelled.
The teacher's name was William, right?
What? Are we missing something? Maybe I'm too drunk.
Seemed like it might have been a little bit deserved. They immediately told the teacher's college, and the teacher's college immediately expelled William. And so now William is suddenly jobless. And
Okay, yeah, it's not expelled though. He gets fired. Next time I get fired, I'm gonna say I got expelled. Get fired from school today.
he's kind of lost again in the world. He doesn't know what he wants to do now because he really had committed to being a teacher. And so he goes back to his home in Northern Ireland and he begins thinking about, what is he going to do next? And he keeps having this thought that he should pursue this thing that he's always been interested in, but he had never taken seriously.
Is that thing beating the crap out of kids? I bet you that's what it is.
For kids
like
only.
Love for kids. I guarantee that's what Williams.
He's the teacher.
He's like, I'm just gonna run into schools and just fucking sock a kid as hard as I can for no reason at all. They'd be like, fucking pay attention, son of a bitch.
Because it felt so risky. But now that basically everything in his life had fallen apart, he had nothing to lose. So he decided, what the heck, I will do the thing that I've always wanted to do. And that was stage acting. And so he went and auditioned with a local theater company in Belfast. He was accepted into the theater troupe.
It's about actors.
And then 4 years later, he was discovered performing on stage by a Hollywood filmmaker. And they cast him in a movie, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
William Neeson, better known as Liam Neeson.
No, but the kid was remember he traveled to teach a classroom full of students, but he himself was still in school to become a teacher.
Oh.
That's why he was expelled.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Because he wasn't actually a licensed teacher yet.
Right, yeah, that makes
Just
more
filling
sense.
in and showing them his like day plan for the students. I get it. Thank you for the clarification, chat.
I was getting excited. And there it is, Liam Neeson. This is the guy that
Neeson.
This guy keeps losing his family. They keep getting kidnapped. They keep getting taken.
He's a good actor, though.
But he doesn't fuck around.
No.
Sometimes he's a good actor. He's the only good actor in that role. Like, what else has he done where he's not like a badass for some reason?
Oh, he's always a badass.
Like, that's the thing.
Liam Neeson's always a badass.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's always been kind of like an actor. It's like, I've always respected him and liked him, I guess. But like, I don't know. I'd like to see him branch out, I guess.
Well, I guess it's just the role he's good at.
Liam Neeson.
Neeson.
Liam Neeson needs to do a rom-com to get in my radar.
Oh,
Has he done a rom-com?
I don't know if he
needs to fall in love and almost lose a girl, but then get her back at the very end. and learn something along the way.
There's still some romance in the Taken movies.
No, there isn't.
With him and his ex-wife.
Is there?
Yeah. It's chemistry.
There is a little bit of chemistry. He does get the girl.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue. I like the fact that today I learned that Liam Neeson punched a kid in the face.
That's who it was?
It was this guy, yeah.
That's what they're telling us now.
They're telling us.
Continue.
Yeah,
That's
said
awesome.
he decided to like some.
Oh, he was in Love Actually. So that is.
So he is that right?
I was going to say I thought he was in something.
Oh.
Yep, Love Actually. Okay, continue. This is fantastic.
It is.
Finding out that it was Liam Neeson who.
Liam Neeson. Today we know Liam Neeson punched a kid in school. What a time to be alive.
Would go on to star in dozens of huge movies and TV shows, and he's probably best known for his epic role in the movie Taken. Where he is this CIA operative with a particular set of skills.
Yeah, yeah.
And in this movie, he punches a lot of people in the face, just like when he was a teacher.
But not one kid. He refuses to punch even one kid in any of those movies. It's a bummer.
Okay, this is a different story.
In 1963, when Tim Dick was just 10 years old, he went over to his friend's house and he snuck a bottle of whiskey from one of their shelves. He pulled it out and he poured himself a full glass to the brim with whiskey, and then he downed it in one huge gulp.
Good
Tim
luck.
had grown up idolizing cowboys.
Tim sounds like a badass.
Tim's going to be hurting very soon.
On TV, and every time he watched them, they
And
would
they're
come
done
galloping
now.
into some town, they would go into the saloon, and they would sit at the bar just throwing back shots of whiskey. And so Tim always assumed whiskey must be this totally amazing, refreshing drink for these guys to be drinking it out in the heat of the desert. But unfortunately for Tim, after he slugged this huge glass of whiskey, it was not refreshing. It tasted like gasoline, and his chest felt like it was on fire. But
Oh man!
He's trying to hydrate.
Oh no! This poor guy was trying to be cool. He's like, I'm gonna drink something, and
He was trying to rehydrate. He was trying to hydrate himself.
I wonder. He must have been really young to know that. I don't know.
Well, he saw other people drinking it out in the heat and like thought, oh, well, you know, that's going to cool me down. So let me chug this real quick. See what
Tim sounds like a badass.
Tim sounds like me when I was young.
instead of being turned off by alcohol and waiting until he was older and of age to try it again, Tim instead thought, you know what, the next time I have whiskey, I just need to water it down a little bit. And so for the next year, Tim continued to periodically sneak whiskey out of his friends' cabinets, and he would drink this watered down whiskey. And then, when he turned 11 years old, his father,
he was
who
so
he was
young.
very close with, died tragically.
I thought he was
in a
like
car accident.
17.
And Tim really didn't have a good way to cope with the grief of losing
he's gonna
his
turn to
father.
drinking.
And so he turned to drinking even more than he already was. And before long, Tim was like this young kid who basically was an alcoholic. But he hid it extremely well. He graduated high school.
See, that's sad. I thought he was like 17, 18, like...
Yeah, so what did they say? His dad passed when he was at the age of 10? When did he have the first drink?
I think he went out there. He was legit like a naive little kid. Like he was a baby.
School, he graduated college, and really nobody knew he was drinking as much as he was. But after he graduated college and he was living on his own in Michigan, there was no structure in place or person in place to stop Tim from going overboard with his substance abuse. And so not only did his drinking get completely out of control, but he began using and selling drugs, namely cocaine. In 1978, when Tim was 25 years old, he and his drug dealing partner were scheduled to take part in the biggest drug deal of their careers. They would be selling about 1.5 pounds of cocaine to a guy named Michael Pfeiffer, and he'd be buying it for $42,000, which when you adjust that for inflation, would be like buying it for $175,000 in 2021. Tim and his partner were very excited about all this money they were going to make, but they were equally worried about the transaction. A lot can go wrong. And so Tim decided, in order to mitigate their nerves and kind of make this a safer drug deal, he decided they would do the transaction inside of a public airport, because Tim had seen that done on TV and believed that would give them an additional layer of safety. And so on the day this deal is going to take place, Tim takes the 1.5 pounds of cocaine, he puts it inside of a brown brown Adidas gym bag, and he also throws a key lock inside of this bag. He zips it up, he walks outside, he dumps the bag in the back of his car, and he drives to the Kalamazoo International Airport in Michigan. When he gets there, he parks in the big parking lot right outside of the front doors, and as soon as he's parked, he goes around to the back of his car, he pulls out this brown Adidas bag, he throws it over his shoulder, shuts his trunk, and then he waits for his partner to show up. A couple of minutes later, right on time, his partner pulls into the lot, he parks nearby, and then the two of them very casually begin walking towards the front doors of this airport. They walk up the steps, they go in the front doors, and as soon as they're inside, they're looking around, and they find Michael Pfeiffer. He's standing up against the wall right in the area he had said he would be. And so without making any sort of contact with Michael, Tim and his partner turn the corner and they go into a nearby locker room. Once they're inside, Tim pulls the lock out of the brown bag, and then he puts the bag with the drugs in it inside of a locker. He shuts it and then uses the lock he had just pulled out to lock the locker. And then he and his partner leave the locker room. As soon as they go out into the main terminal, they start walking over towards Michael Pfeiffer. And as they get closer and closer, Tim's partner breaks off and goes to a bench on the other side of the terminal, and Tim continues walking on right up to Michael. And then when he reaches Michael, he very discreetly hands him the key to the lock on the locker, and he tells him which locker number the drugs are in. Michael doesn't say anything, he takes the key and he heads off to the locker room. Tim turns and he goes over to his partner and he sits down on the bench and waits. Meanwhile, Michael goes inside the locker room, he uses the key, he opens up the lock, he opens the locker up, he checks to make sure the drugs are still there. They are. As soon as that's confirmed, he takes the bag, he throws it over his shoulder, and he walks back out to the main terminal to meet up with Tim and his partner. Tim and his partner are sitting on the bench, they see Michael coming out of the locker room, and they're expecting Michael to walk over and basically hand them a bag full of $42,000. But instead, Michael walks up to them and draws a gun and points it at them and says, "I'm a police officer, you're under arrest." It would turn out this was a sting operation. Michael Pfeiffer, the undercover police officer, had been following around Tim and his partner for months. In Michigan at the time, if you were caught trying to sell 650 grams or more of cocaine, there was an automatic penalty of a life sentence.
Holy shit!
Tim and his partner had just been arrested trying to sell more than...
What do you think about that? What do you think about
it's true or not?
Well, no, not if
What do you
it's
mean?
true or not. That it is true. What do you think about a life sentence for drugs? Like, all right, cocaine destroys lives, and people get wrapped up in it, and they get fucked up, and whatever.
If it was marijuana, no.
I've never done cocaine. You've never done cocaine.
Never.
We've never done cocaine.
I mean, I don't care if you do. I just can't do it. I'm too hyper. I have too much energy. I'd probably have a heart attack. You just have no interest.
Yeah, my wife would literally explode.
I would explode. I drink a Coca-Cola and I'm like insane for days. So.
But I don't know. Like, even, I guess cocaine, I guess it ruins lives in some ways.
It's not good for you, really.
It's not great for you, but neither is like a McDonald's cheeseburger.
To each their own, but...
But a life sentence?
I mean,
it's a lot of Coke. It's a lot of Coke. It's a pound and a half of Coke.
And is it a life sentence? Like,
it's mandatory. That's the thing. It's at the minimum of a life sentence. Your life is over.
Yeah, that's
because you have that much powder on you. I don't know, man. Like fentanyl and stuff that's like killing people in the streets like every day. Like I get zero sympathy for. Maybe because I've never seen the real effects and the real downfall of like what cocaine does to some people. Like maybe I'm a little bit more biased. But I don't know, a life sentence. Like your life, like you made one stupid decision. You were a young kid. You thought, hey man,
but a lot of people are in prison because of one stupid decision.
Well, but they don't get life sentences. You get life sentences for murder. You get life sentences for fucking killing someone.
Right.
For ending a life.
But distributing, I mean, to them is just as bad, so.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Than 650 grams of cocaine. And so facing
a life sentence,
Tim took a deal that gave him a lesser sentence in exchange for information about other drug dealers. And so Tim would ultimately serve 2 years and 4 months in a federal penitentiary.
See how quickly that life sentence?
Tim would say his time in prison was absolutely miserable, but it was necessary.
How did he get 2 years and 4? Did he charge somebody? Did I miss something?
Yes, he gave info out.
He gave info out to who?
To the police.
Okay, so all right.
So like, oh, who are you getting it from? When's it coming in?
Okay, so they realize this guy's not like a big time cocaine dealer. He's just like, he saw a big payday and like tried to take it. All right.
matured him in a major way, and it honed his sense
Yeah,
of
they're
humor.
saying life
Tim was
sentence is
always a very
ridiculous
funny
for
guy. He was
nonviolent
always the class
offenses.
clown,
I
the guy goofing
It's
around.
the thing, man.
But in prison, he found it a very difficult task to get these hardened prisoners and prison guards to laugh at his jokes. But eventually, with enough practice and repetition, he could get anybody in that prison to laugh at him. And so by the time he got out,
he's gonna be a
was like
comedian.
an amazing comedian. And so he decided, you know what? Why don't I pursue a career in comedy? 4 years later, Tim Dick, better known as Tim Allen, landed the starring role on
School
the hit
time?
TV
There's
show
no
Home
way.
Improvement.
School time.
And from there, he starred in
Is that how you do it? You know what I'm talking
Can't
about?
do it.
What's that fucking stinger they use?
No way.
Tim Allen? First off, he's got a mustache among gods here in this photo as well.
Oh, good guess, Empress.
Somebody
Empress
guess it was Tim Allen? I had no idea.
It's crazy.
Tim Allen, man. I like Tim Allen.
I have never heard anything like this. It's crazy.
All right, so Tim Allen's got some crazy political beliefs, though. Not crazy, different than mine.
I don't know much about him.
He leans a little bit in the wrong direction than I do. I do not like what he does politically. I guess I don't follow that ideology. But him as a person and as a comedian, I've always dug this fucking dude. I've always thought he was fucking awesome.
I can't believe
He's
that.
super Republican. And you know, I even like that Republican show he did. He used to like after Tool Time, whatever it's called, Home Improvement. After that, he did a show like on Netflix or something where he managed like I don't know, some kind of sporting goods shop. That was still good too. He's a good actor.
Yeah, that is good. He turned his life around. That's
He
crazy.
made one stupid decision. He was a young kid. He saw a big payday.
Trying to make a quick buck.
Trying to make a quick buck. He's not trying to end lives. He's not out there like selling whatever. But I mean, hey, nowadays we got like fentanyl. We got shit like people are like, they're smoking once and they're just dying. Do you smoke fentanyl or do you inject it?
I don't know
How do you do fentanyl?
I think you can snort it. I'm not sure if you can smoke it or inject. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I've heard stories of people wasting an incredible amount of money on cocaine. Neither of us has done cocaine. We don't know. I hear it's great from people who have told me. They're like, oh, it's like a party or whatever. I don't endorse cocaine. I got to stop endorsing cocaine.
Yeah. He's never even done it.
Done. But I've heard people like, it, from what I understand, like it costs a lot of money and like it's very addictive and it can really, do some shit to your life.
For me, anything you need to keep getting up every like 20 minutes or however to go get more, no
I
thanks.
don't think that's how cocaine's done though. I feel like cocaine's more of a party drug.
No, I'm just saying like those types of drugs, like that. It loses all its appeal.
Oh, it's called Last Man Standing. Yeah, nurse. Yeah, dude, I like that show. I like him as an actor. Like, I think he's a solid dude.
Yeah, no, I've never had any issues with Tim Allen.
And even
But that is a
politically, some of the shit he said is okay. Like, yeah,
story.
I think he's a cool dude. I like Tim Allen. Is what I'm trying to say. Even though we divide in some places politically.
dozens more movies and TV
That's
shows.
crazy.
But he's probably best known for his voice acting in the very popular movie series
He
Toy
was Buzz
Story,
Lightyear.
where he plays Buzz
No,
Lightyear.
he's
Today,
not.
Tim-
He
This is
is.
Tim the Toolman Taylor. That's what
He's
he's known
Buzz
for. No, he's known
Lightyear.
for Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Oh,
He's got 3
There's-
sons. He's got a show,
But there-
Al, the flannel. Come on.
I know, babe, but the
Buzz Lightyear, I get it.
Buzz Lightyear is like more relevant.
No, it's not. The
Toy
Tim the
Story
Toolman
movies. And when did that come out? Did
First off, Tim the Tool it
it come out?
doesn't even matter. That is timeless. That is Home Improvement is
Yeah, you're
timeless.
dating yourself. Do they not know how old you are?
I don't even know. Maybe, I don't know. I guess he's good at Buzz Lightyear too, but like I like him in Home Improvement.
Yeah, no, I loved Home Improvement. Everybody loved JT too.
Who's that?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh yeah, he's that dude. He's in Teen Beat.
All the girls had a crush on
Do you
him.
have a question on
I'm sure I
JT?
did. I'm sure I did. Yeah. You said.
I'm nervous, you know. No, I'm nervous. Is JTT gonna try and take my girl?
No.
Does he have a chance?
I'm sure no. I'm sure he's very happy with his life.
JTT, if you're watching right now, don't even fucking try, dude. Seriously. I will fight you in the streets. Let's continue.
is sober and has been for decades.
Oh, good for him.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's
So-
sober.
In 1964, during his final semester of college in Wisconsin, a 21-year-old man named Harry decided to take an acting class. He believed it would be an
we
easy
know where
A,
this is going.
and he'd always been pretty shy.
We do. I don't.
Well, yeah, because they called Timmy.
I didn't hear the name.
It was Harry.
Okay.
All right, so the first one. Who's the first guy? Liam. They call him like Lemmy or something.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, but like they call like Tim the Toolman Taylor, as we all know and love him. They called him like Timmy something.
Oh, we didn't know.
It's like Timmy Dick.
Oh,
I
really?
mean, it's his real name.
Yeah, that could be like a stage name.
So who's Harry gonna be? Do you have any guesses? Who's a famous actor named Harry?
And they said something about 1964. So
Okay, so it's in the 60s.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to JTT. Who knows?
Doesn't matter. He's fucking dead if he tries to take my wife.
Oh, they're saying Harrison Ford, maybe? They're guessing Harrison.
That makes sense. It's probably Harrison Ford, isn't it? Oh, you guys can't see chat.
Right?
We're doing this live. We're watching later.
He's too young.
I don't know.
Yeah, gotta be Harrison Ford. I love Harrison Ford. He's a good actor. Not like that, but like...
I need to kick Harrison Ford's ass, too. I swear to fucking God, Jonathan Taylor-Thomas and Harrison Ford, you're fucking dead.
He's so
I don't
funny.
think I'm supposed to threat people.
He's not. He's harmless.
Yeah. Unless you fuck with my girl.
Yeah, I told him you didn't have any
figured this
embarrassing
class
stories.
might-
You're too mellow.
Not mellow. I'm right over here defending your honor.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
going to fight Harrison Ford for you. And you're calling me mellow?
oh man, leave me.
Fuck him up. I won't. I respect
I don't
him
think
too
I
much.
did this right.
What do you mean? The tiny thing? We gotta do this thing. It's gonna be
continue.
much.
Be able to help him get over that. But this class wound up having a much larger impact on Harry's life.
Hold on a second. I need more wine.
Harry.
Harry. Yeah, it's Harrison Ford, isn't it? What did he do? Ah, shit. Fucking chair debris. Yeah, whatever. It's a hot mic.
Hot mic, hot mic.
Hot mic. All right. The space bar.
Than
Just
he
once.
ever could have imagined. Not only did he meet his future wife in this class, but he also realized he loved acting, something he never thought he would like, and he decided after college that that was the thing he was going to pursue. And so after he graduates later that year,
Is
he
this
and his
going on
girlfriend get
YouTube?
married, and then they fly out to Hollywood, California, where Harry auditions for Columbia Pictures' New Talent Program, which is basically this program that's designed to help new actors and actresses get parts in Hollywood because it's so hard to do that. And so he's accepted into this program. He signs a contract with them that pays him almost nothing. And right away, they start shopping him around for different parts in TV shows and movies, but nobody is interested in Harry. Nobody. The only roles he was getting were incredibly minor and usually non-speaking, and so it was really not advancing his career. Then, in 1966, so 2 years after he and his wife had arrived in Hollywood, Harry received what seemed like his first big break. He was offered a speaking role in a movie, although it was a very minor role. It was a 60-second bit where Harry basically walked on screen in this hotel, and he started calling out for a particular guest, and when he finds this guest, he walks up and gives him a piece of paper, and then he leaves. So it's a forgettable scene, but it's a real scene in a real movie, and so this was a big deal for Harry. And so after Harry goes over to the studio and he films this whole scene and it's all done, he goes back over to the headquarters of the New Talent Program at Columbia Pictures, and as soon as he goes inside, one of the producers that was in charge of this New Talent Program, who had apparently had a chance already to see this 60-second scene in this movie that Harry was in, he calls Harry over and asks him to go up to his office for a second. And so the pair go up to his office, they both sit down, and the guy looks at him and says, "Look, I just gotta shoot you straight here. You're not gonna make it in Hollywood. You're not gonna be a movie star." When Tony Curtis was told to carry groceries across this room in one of his first movies, everybody knew right away as he's carrying those groceries that guy, he's gonna be a movie star. You could see it in the scene, even though all he was doing was carrying groceries. And when you did your scene as the bellhop walking around the hotel, I just didn't see it. You don't have the X factor. You're not gonna be a movie star. For reference, Tony Curtis, the guy this producer was referencing, was a huge movie star in the 1950s and 1960s. And so Harry, after getting this horrible comment made about him, he pauses for a second, and then he leans across the table and looks at this producer and squints his eyes and says, "You know, if Tony was such a good actor, shouldn't we have believed he was just a grocery delivery boy, not a movie star? And at this totally smart aleck remark, the producer fired Harry on the spot. Harry would go on to sign a similar new talent program deal with Universal Studios, but again, he could not get a real part to save his life. And the feedback he finally got was, Harry, you're just not pretty enough, and you're not really that talented. By the mid-1970s, Harry was in his mid-30s, and while he still aspired to be an actor and wanted to be an actor, he was making almost no money from acting. And so he decided, instead of acting, he was going to become a carpenter. That was going to be his full-time job, despite the fact he knew nothing about carpentry. And so he literally, just because he has this interest in carpentry, goes to the library and checks out all these how to be a carpenter books. And over the next couple of weeks, he studies these books and does a couple projects around his own house. And then finally, he just felt confident enough, or he was just desperate enough for money, that he began going around to his network and asking people in Hollywood if they needed some woodworking, if they needed help from a carpenter. And surprisingly, lots of people took him up on his offer and they hired him to be their carpenter. And before long, Harry was dubbed the carpenter to the stars, which was kind of ironic because he actually was not a very good carpenter, and he was regularly seen on the job, literally holding a book, teaching him how to be a carpenter while doing the carpentry with his other hand. In 1976, Harry was a full-fledged carpenter and had been for about a year when one of his very close friends named Fred Roos, who was a casting director and film producer, gave him a call and told him he had a very unique opportunity for him. Now, at this point, Harry was not looking for any more acting roles. He kind of figured that that ship has sailed, even though he wishes he could be an actor. At this point, he had a wife, he had 2 sons, and so he's thinking, I gotta just keep doing this carpentry thing because I gotta pay the bills. So he says to Fred, I appreciate the offer of whatever this is, but if it has to do with acting, I'm just not interested. And Fred, who was one of the very few people in Hollywood who fundamentally believed Harry was destined to be a star, told Harry, no, this is different. This is not a pure go out and try out for the part and hope for the best. This is like, put yourself in a good position and maybe somebody will discover you're as talented as you really are. And so Harry's like, okay, tell me about this opportunity, I'm interested. And so Fred explained there was this really talented and eccentric film director who was trying to cast an upcoming movie. And the way he went about casting for movies was a little bit strange. Instead of having each of the actors and actresses show up and individually audition for their parts, he would group batches of actors and actresses and he would have them audition as a group, because that way he could tell if there was chemistry amongst some of the actors and actresses, and he could gauge their individual talent. And so he had all these groups already planned out, but one of the groups was missing one male actor. Somebody had dropped out at the last minute and was not going to be there on the day of the audition. And so when Fred Roos heard through the grapevine that this director was going to be short this one person, he immediately reached out to the director and said, hey, I got your guy. There's this guy, Harry. He's done a little bit of acting. He's incredibly talented. You got to give him a chance. At the minimum, he can come in there and he can at least just read the lines and help you do this audition, but I know he's available that day and I know he would love to help. And so this director tells Fred, okay, thank you, I'd love to have him come down, but stress to him, he is not auditioning for any part in this movie. I'm not bringing in some person and just throwing them in. It takes me a long time to find people that I want to audition, and he is not one of them. He is just there to facilitate the audition. He's just going to read the lines so the other people in his group can do their audition. And so after Fred stopped explaining this situation, Harry was actually kind of annoyed. He was annoyed that Fred had basically already volunteered him, and so he couldn't really even say no without making Fred look bad. And he didn't like the idea that this was basically a waste of his time. He was being asked to go read lines, but not even try out. So how was this even an opportunity? But Fred told him, look, worst case scenario, you meet some pretty powerful people in Hollywood. This director's a big deal. The people there are going to be big deals in Hollywood. So you'll meet them and maybe they will recognize your talent. Or maybe you get some new clients for your carpentry business. So no matter what, you get something out of it. And so finally, Harry says, okay, fine, I'll go do this thing. And so Harry goes to this audition, he's handed the script, and he's reminded repeatedly to not attempt to audition. Don't try to act, just read the lines. I don't care if you're monotone, you just read these lines because you're not auditioning. Everybody else is, "You're not. Is that clear?" And Harry's like,
You
"Yes,
don't matter, man.
I get it. I'm just reading the lines."
You're done.
And so Harry
Just
sits
read.
down and he starts reading the lines, and he's trying to do what they told him to do, but the way he was actually feeling and his actual personality began seeping through. He started coming off as this really grumpy and sarcastic guy that just didn't care about anybody there. He was just totally bitter that he was in the situation he was in. And apparently, this
loved
is
it.
exactly what the director was looking for in one of the characters he was trying to cast. That kind of nonchalant, bravado, macho, alpha type guy who just didn't care about anybody. And so over the course of the day, as he's reading the script over and over again,
That's the thing, man. It's like, so he's there and he's auditioning, and everybody's really told him, like, you don't belong here. You're basically here as an extra to emphasize other people's lines, right? And
Well,
you're-
yeah, because they needed someone to fill in because an actor had dropped out.
Right,
So,
but he's not there as an audition. And at this point, like, he's already given up on this dream of acting.
correct.
So he doesn't want to do it. So at this point, it's going to be almost like, I don't know, I find it like, he's got to like find it like kind of annoying. It's like, okay, well, I want to do this thing at one point in time. It's been made very clear to me I'm not an actor and I'm not going to be a part of this thing, you know? So he probably has like this nonchalant kind of like whatever fucking attitude, like, I'm here to make contacts to possibly do some woodworking in your house. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he has like that attitude. Which is, I think we know who this actor is. I think chat has guessed it, and I'm pretty sure who it is.
We'll see.
We'll see, but I'm pretty sure it is this person. And it makes more sense to me, especially seeing some of his roles and like the character, how he's taken it. You know what, let's not spoil it for anybody because I don't think chat's on the screen. So maybe you guys at home have figured it out by now, but let's check it out.
not caring at all about how he's performing. He's just simply reading these lines and just being himself. He was actually doing this amazing job portraying one of the characters. And so they let Harry go the whole day. No one told him they were looking at him as a potential character. And then at the end of the day, when Harry was about to just throw the script in the trash and leave without talking to anyone, the film director, better known as George Lucas, walks up to Harry, better known as Harrison Ford, and says, "Wait a minute, I was wrong. You are perfect for this movie, Star Wars.
I know.
You need
Yeah.
to play Han Solo."
Solo,
And so Harrison Ford
Yeah.
said,
And
"All right,
that's
I'll play Han Solo."
fuck it, man. I'll stop fixing forges, you know. But that's the thing. That's like been his like career kind of like attitude everywhere. It's like that nonchalant, like not really giving a fuck kind of thing. That's what's kind of made him.
There
Kind
has
of
to be
cool.
like a ton of these stories too, though, because celebrities start elsewhere before they're celebrities.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, most of them are just like,
normal every day.
well, they got it. You know, a lot of them, like, there's like this running joke of like, you know, actors and actresses, or just actors, I think they're supposed to be called, whether it's male or female. Like, they're all like waiters and waitresses, like out in Hollywood. You know, and they're just doing that until they can get by. And he was just doing carpentry, you know.
Old Harry boy.
Old Harry boy.
I like Harrison Ford.
That
He's a great
role
actor.
as Han Solo propelled Harrison Ford into the megastar that we know him as today. A few years after Harrison had starred in Star Wars and he was this total A-list celebrity, he was at a Hollywood studio in one of their restaurants when one of the waiters walked over to him with the silver tray, and on this silver tray was a single business card. So Harrison reaches over, he grabs the business card, the waiter walks away, and he looks at the card, and handwritten on it is the phrase, "I missed my bet." And he flipped the card over, and it was the name of that producer from the new talent program that had called Harry into his office and said, "You're never going to make it in Hollywood and you're fired." It was that guy, and he had apparently sent the waiter over to make amends because he was eating lunch in the same restaurant. And so Harrison would later say
That was a
in
bitch move,
interviews
though.
that at the time he got this card, and to this day that he was doing this interview, he said it gave him immense pleasure that when he looked up from this business card and he understood the situation, he knows this guy's in the room somewhere. As he looked around the room, he couldn't recognize the guy because he didn't know what he looked like. He was a nobody. And so instead of wasting any more time looking for this producer, he just looked at the card, chucked it, and went back to eating his lunch. So that's going to do it, guys. If you found the secret in today's episode, let us know in the comments section what it is and where you found it. So give us the timestamp. And if you're the first to do that, we'll pin you at the top of the comments section.
So yeah, that's Mr. Ballen. I like this guy a lot. Let me go back over here to Big Face Cam. Yeah, Mr. Ballen, I think does a great job of like storytelling and like really kind of like doing twists and turns and explaining different things in kind of a fun, entertaining way. That's kind of why I want to do more content with him. What did you think of that? Do you like those stories?
Yeah, I've definitely seen like clips of him, not.
Yeah, no, he's doing very well.
Finished, but they are cool.
He's like 6 million subscribers. He's doing very well, and he's still like
No secret either. So does each one of those episodes.
Yeah, it's the thing. It's like I've seen a couple of them. I haven't seen all of his episodes, but I want to start like doing more of them. But like, yeah, all of his things, like they've got these great narrative to them. Like it's great storytelling, as a whole, and that's why I really appreciate this guy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I never found the secret.
Yeah, I didn't find the secret either. I don't know. I was looking for one.
Oh, were you?
No, she said it too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I didn't know there was a secret.
But yeah, no, that was pretty good. So that's Mr. Ballen. What was the video called here? The top 3 most unbelievable celebrity backstories. And yeah, I'm gonna make sure to link his channel down below. So if you guys want to check out more of his stuff, he's got a ton more content over there. I highly recommend checking out his channel. The guy is just a fantastic storyteller, and I really am just a fan of everything that he does. So seriously, just check him out. But yeah, man, this was fun. What'd you think? Did you have fun today?
I did have fun.
I had fun today. My wife, to Crystal. Let's give Crystal some air horns. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I like that sound.
I think she did pretty good. You entertain people. I went to the bathroom. Normally I put on a Be Right Back screen, but like maybe I'll just start putting you on screen.
Oh God.
Maybe if when I'm doing streams, I'm just gonna like, and when I go to the bathroom, I'll make you come on and talk to people.
Yeah, no, I can do that. And they said the secret is a small pic somewhere in the video. It flashes for like a second.
Oh, straight up Fight Club style.
So you have to
straight
like
up Fight Club
pay
style.
attention.
All right.
Cool.
Does he do that stuff?
Fantastic stream. Thank you guys.
She's awesome. She's the one who sent us that stuff from Nebraska.
Yeah, that stuff's awesome. I put it all nice and neat.
I don't know.
No CD lady.
I'm very lucky that I have somebody that organizes stuff for me.
Yeah, and then when we get our new place, he can put it up in his new man cave.
My new office area is gonna be much better. Great job, Crystal. It was fun seeing you today. Look at that. Everybody likes you. Everybody likes you.
Great job. Okay, thank you.
I think that's gonna do it for us today, right? Is there anything else you wanna do? Is there something you want to see? Something you want? Is there something else you'd like from the internet?
Oh, it was fun.
It was fun. This is great because Crystal is, I think I heard her talking about it while I was in the bathroom. She's not much of a social media person.
No.
She's not much of a person, kind of person that puts herself out there. She's very introverted, very similar to Maya, but once you get to know her, she is a social butterfly.
Liar.
She's a butterflyer,
I'm not an introvert. I just am with like social media stuff, I guess.
When we go out to places, when we go into a room, it's Crystal. Everybody meets Crystal, and then they find me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know. I am a social butterfly. I just don't I don't take like pictures of myself and like put them all up and stuff. I'm just not like that. I don't know.
I put pictures of me on, I remember my Instagram password for that.
Yeah, I don't have an Instagram. I don't have any of that.
But, guys, seriously, thank you so much for spending some time with us tonight. I understand this is probably very late for a lot of you guys. This is not the normal time we stream and do stuff, but if I can convince my beautiful wife to spend a little more time doing this with me on Tuesdays, maybe we'll go forward. I don't know. Let me know on Discord.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I like doing it.
Oh, well, we'll see.
We'll do some trash TV.
Yeah, we want to watch like Maury Povich, like You Are Not the Father type of bullshit. Like, we want to watch dudes dancing, not, having to support people. I don't know where I'm going with this.
All right, they're all going to bed because it's 4 a.m.
Go to bed.
Glad you enjoyed the stream.
Thank you for being here with us. You guys are fantastic for hanging out. That's gonna do it. You guys have yourself a fantastic night, and we'll see y'all later.
Good night.
Bye. Yeah, that was good. You did a great job.
Turn these off.
How do I turn those off? Hold on before you do this. I'll turn it off. You hit the wrong button.